Welcome back. The Dodge Power Brokers NHRA U.S. Nationals taking place right here in Indy at the Lucas Oil Raceway Park. One of the best drivers in the world, taking a little time away from the raceway to spend a moment with us. Brittany Force, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Explain what this week is like for people who maybe have never been out there, because it's insane all week long for the spectators here.
Well, NHRA drag racing, there's nothing like it. You have to go out to a drag race. TV doesn't do it justice. You need to sit in the stands. I mean, when these cars launch, we're going 330 miles per hour in less than 4 seconds. That's 11,000 horsepower. I mean, I'm pulling about 6 Gs within the first second of the run. So, I mean, the ground shakes, your eyes are burning, your ears are ringing. There's nothing like it, but it's the U.S. Nationals. It's Indianapolis this weekend. So it's one of our big races. Points reset after this weekend, and then it's the chase to the countdown, so it's a big one.
You've been in that chase so many times throughout your career. What's that like for you? I mean, not only having the Force name, but then also carving your own path and having the career that you've had at this point.
Thank you. It was definitely a challenge. In 2013 was my rookie season, and John Force Racing has always been funny cars. So bringing a top fuel car into our pit wasn't easy. Yeah. You know, it was a handful of years until we got our first win, but as a top fuel team, we really figured this car out. We've had 2 championships since I started, and we're chasing another one down this year.
What's it like coming to Indianapolis? Because I grew up in this area. I went to the NHRA every year, and I always just assumed it was a week-long event everywhere, but that's not the case. In different places, it's sometimes just a weekend or whatever, but this is the racing capital of the world, no matter what kind of car. So what's that like for you guys?
I love coming here. It kind of feels homey to me.
Yeah.
Second home. I'm here so often. In our off season, I'm here getting fitted for our car before we go out and test it. And then I usually spend a week here for the U.S. Nationals. We always have, you know, stuff going on. And I love coming to Indianapolis. It's the racing capital of the world. You just drive down the street and there's just race shops all over the place. And the fans out here are incredible. So I'm excited to go into this weekend and see all the fans come out and see a packed house.
I love hearing you talk about the way it feels in the car, because having been there and watched the races, you do feel like your stomach rumbles and you can really feel the power of these things. And my immediate thought is, if I'm feeling it here in the stands, I can't imagine what it's like sitting there strapped into that thing. And we had Antron Brown on last week to talk about this, but I wanted to get your take. Do you have time to really understand what's happening once you go, or are you just like, well, we're in it for the long haul and we get to the finish line?
It's crazy. I mean, it is less than 4 seconds till you cross that finish line, but it really does slow down, because I'll come back after a run and completely break it apart with my crew chief. Okay, the tires started to spin, it drifted a little towards the wall, 300 feet out. Then you could break everything down on a single run. So it is crazy. It does slow down. I mean, it's over before it begins, but when you're in the car, you feel every little thing that feels off, that feels different, whatever the case is.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was 2018, you had a pretty serious crash. Going from that, now we're years removed, but how do you come back from that and go, I'm going to get right back in that thing and go again?
I'll tell you, it was tough. So in 2017, our team won a championship with Monster Energy. Every team out there is chasing a championship. We got it done in Pomona. It's the final race of the season, and when we kicked off our next season, we returned to Pomona. So I'm at the same racetrack. We've had that brand new car, a #1 sticker on our car, and we go out and completely wreck the thing. It was awful. Luckily, it knocked me out. I don't remember. My injuries I was only in the hospital for a couple days. I recovered pretty quickly, and 2 weeks later I was back in a new car in Phoenix getting ready to run, and I was still debating it. My crew chief was not pushing it at all. He's like, let's sit Phoenix out. And I'm like, for me, I have to, if I don't get in this car today, it'll be done for me. I was still beaten up pretty bad, bruised pretty bad. I watched the video 100 times, and it's terrifying to watch. It's like, how was I in there and I can't remember it, is the tough thing. So for me, it was 2 weeks later, went out to Phoenix and climbed in the car, got suited in, absolutely terrified. It was probably one of the toughest moments in my career. I mean, even when it came down to a round of we could win a championship here, the first time I ever climbed in a car, climbing in after that wreck was probably one of the toughest moments for me, but it was a victory when, got the car down there and was like, okay, I'm back to normal. You look at your whole career and find the one negative in it when there's been so many great ones. So for me, it was, let's focus on the good ones.
It is an outstanding career, and we're so lucky to get to watch it in action. So thank you for coming and spending time with us, Brittany, and best of luck this weekend. If you want to check out NHRA U.S. Nationals, and I recommend you do, go to lifestylelive.tv. We've got all the info there to get all the tickets you need to go out and enjoy what really is like a different kind of power, Amber. It's insane out there.